Steelers, but his $41.2 million salary cap hit is an issue. With the salary cap decreasing because of a drop in revenue due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Steelers president Art Rooney II says sacrifices must be made.
Ben wants to come back, and so we've left that door open. We've been, I think, upfront with Ben and letting him know that we couldn't have him back under the current contract, and so I think he understands we have some work to do there.
Okay, Stephen A. We know Big Ben's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I know you're grateful always having your team in contention. But at this point, can the Steelers win a Super Bowl title with Ben at the helm?
Yeah, but with a caveat, if you get a running game. The fact of the matter is, over the last 3 years, the Steelers have had one of the worst rushing attacks in football. The Pittsburgh Steelers, with Tomlin, Mr. Run the Football, stop the run. They've had one of the worst rushing attacks in all of football. They ranked like 29th over the last 2 years. This year, they ranked dead last. They had the worst rushing attack in the National Football League. I don't know if that's ever happened to the Steelers organization, ever, until now. And so I don't believe that Big Ben Roethlisberger is the guy that you can go to say, fling that football 40 to 50 times a game and take us there. He's not that dude anymore. If that's the dude that he wants to be, if that's the system he wants to play in, Big Ben Roethlisberger needs to retire. Because he's all he's going to do is get himself hurt. You're going to win a few football games. You're going to get to the players. You're going to go home early. Might get yourself hurt in the long run because he can't shrug off. He's not Big Ben that he used to be. Can't extend plays by shrugging off defenders or even scrambling for that matter. That's not who he is any longer. Okay? He's a stationary target for the most part. He's a big target. He's a big target. But he's still a stationary target. And these brothers coming at you, young and strong and vibrant, they're going to take him down. And so for me, you have to be able to offset that by being able to run the football. I have told y'all on numerous occasions, I am a fan of James Conner, the person. Conner has a great, great story. He's overcome a lot in his life. I wish him nothing but the best. He's not a scrub. But it's not an accident that since Le'Veon Bell has departed, they can't run the damn football effectively. He's not the answer. He's not a game changer. Okay?
Oh, Le'Veon, who's in a Super Bowl?
That's right. Yeah. That dude. But even though they ain't there because of him. But the point is that the Steelers haven't been the same since he's departed.
who's in the Super Bowl too, right?
That's right. Whoa. But then again, you can sit up there and say that hasn't really had a detrimental effect. You look at Chase Claypool, you look at...
I'm just saying, they're both in Super Bowls,
James
the Steelers
Washington,
aren't.
They've got an abundance, but again, we know who they're playing for and playing with. In the end, what it comes down to is the Steelers cannot run the football. And if you can't run the football and you're asking Big Ben Roethlisberger, who had 33 touchdowns, just 10 interceptions, completed 65% of his passes, threw for nearly 4,000 yards, it's not good enough in today's NFL. You got to be a 4,500-yard plus passer unless you can run like Lamar Jackson. And that ain't them.
Especially because of what that means in high-leverage situations. But, Molly, actually, something you said, those, AB and Le'Veon are in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The reason they're in the Super Bowl is because they were both amazing in their prime. And AB still may be amazing. Le'Veon's past his prime, but in his prime is one of the best I've ever seen overall. They're both scrap heap players, though. They got picked up on the cheap.
Yeah.
Right. That's why they're in the Super Bowl. Ben Roethlisberger can't be paid like a quarterback, like a great quarterback. He has to get paid like the way Cam Newton was paid. Then could he be in a Super Bowl? I actually still think no. Even then, I think no. It's easier to, you could fit a running back or a wideout who could do certain things for you still on your team cheap, but your quarterback, what have we seen in recent years? The guys who are good enough to guide you to the Super Bowl, to not mess it up, are not good enough to put you over the top. What I say about Garoppolo in San Francisco, Goff in Los Angeles. They haven't been good enough to get you over the top just as kind of a game manager. Phillip Rivers can win regular season games. What happens in the playoffs? Same thing in baseball. You could have a junk ball pitcher get guys out in the regular season, but in the playoffs, when the talent goes up, you better have that heat. Roethlisberger don't have the heat anymore. It doesn't look like to me. Now, I was wrong about Brady in the sense that Brady had more heat than I gave him credit for, and maybe Roethlisberger can push the ball down the field, but he's trying to play the way Brady's played for years, getting the ball out quick. It's not really his style. Did it well, not his style. And behind an offensive line, Stephen A., and I don't blame Conner, I blame the O-line run blocking. Behind an offensive line that's not giving receivers time to get down the field or blocking for the run, you got to be able to do more than Roethlisberger can do right now.
Well, what I will say to you is this. Connor, I'm looking at his elusivity, and I don't see it. I don't think that he's an evasive kind of runner. I mean, you create holes for him, he can run through them. But he's very rudimentary. He's just very conservative in that
basic.
regard. He looks relatively pedestrian in that regard. That's number one. Number two, the running attack for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I will remind y'all that in 2016, they had the 14th ranked rushing attack, if I remember correctly. In 2016, it was 14th. In 2017, it was 20th. 2018, second to last, ranked 34th. Last year, 29th in the league. This year, dead last. They don't have a running attack. And when you talk about Big Ben Roethlisberger, Max, let's understand something. There's plenty of quarterbacks that we look at and we say they ain't winning no damn Super Bowl, but we'd still pay them because they can ball. See, we look at Big Ben Roethlisberger, we have to look at Patrick Mahomes in the AFC, of course. But take Patrick Mahomes away, and who could they beat if they had a running attack? Practically anyone.
You think
else.
they beat Josh Allen when it comes down to it?
I'm saying, if they had a running attack, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers would be able to beat anybody outside of Kansas City, even with Big Ben Roethlisberger. I think they could beat anybody if they had a running attack because their defense is elite. And you got a running attack, and Big Ben Roethlisberger can make plays. The problem is when you're asking him to take the load that a star quarterback takes and shoulder it on that level without making mistakes, that's not Big Ben. The more, that's why they'll sit up there. They'll bend a lot, but not break with Ben because they believe at some point he will make mistakes. Whereas the Tom Brady's, the Aaron Rodgers, the Patrick Mahomes, they will pick you apart. Remember the great Kenny Stabler from many years ago? Kenny Stabler had no arm whatsoever, Molly and Max. No arm whatsoever. But somehow, some way, he just picked you apart piece by piece. He was a surgeon. No one worries about that with Big Ben Roethlisberger. They know that he's going to make a mistake at some point.
Surgeons now
He'll hurt you with the big play, but he'll make a mistake.
He makes mistakes. He's just so clutch to the fore.
Even surgeons nowadays need the requisite arm strength. Like I bring up Chad Pennington back in the day, right? He was an excellent quarterback. Didn't really have the arm strength. If you look at Drew Brees, like let's take the modern NFL. Guys like Garoppolo and Breeze and guys like that and Rivers recently have enough to get it done in the regular season. You need a fastball in the playoffs. You need to bring the heat in the playoffs. Still, they're going to come down, especially in this NFL, usually to big moments, big throws, high leverage situations where guys like Breeze and Rivers recently, the old guys, don't have it. Garoppolo didn't have it when you needed it most. I think Roethlisberger's in that category. I would not bet my franchise's near-term fortunes on locking up Big Ben to try to win a Super Bowl.
But Garoppolo almost won a Super Bowl because he had Mostert, Tevin Campbell, and those boys running the football for him, and a guy like George Kittle to throw the football to in an elite defense.
Weapons can certainly cover up a lot of sins. Let me just ask you this really quickly, yes or no question. Do you think if your Steelers, as presently constructed, had Le'Veon Bell and AB right now, they'd be in the Super Bowl this year?
No, they need an offensive line.
All right.
Can block for the run.
We'll leave it there. Plenty more football coming your way on this Feel Good Friday. Up next here on First Take, Tony Romo with some strong comments about what this Super Bowl means.